Welcome children. Today's class we are going to discuss about variables. Variables means it is a specific memory location to store some values. Here one picture has been given. Suppose if you are giving the value for the variable num1 as 65 and num2 as 100. It has been stored in the memory. Some space has been allocated for that particular variable and the value has been stored in the memory. These variables are also called as identifiers. Num1 and num2 are the variable name. 6500 is the value that is called as R value. It is stored in the memory and memory address has been mentioned as L value. So, suppose if you are giving int a equal to 5, the 5 has been stored in a. A is the variable name, 5 is the value. Like that here, num1 and num2 has been declared. Num1, num2 are the variable name, 65, 100 are the R value, and the address for the memory location is given as 0x125e, 0x126e, like that. 100 is in memory address 0x127e and 65 is in 0x130e. In this way only the value has been stored in the variable. How to declare a variable in C++ program? First let us know the syntax for declaring the variable. Data type, variable 1, variable 2, 3, n. Up to variable n we can declare. If one variable is declared also accepted. In this example, we have declared 3 variables, that is num1, num2 and then sum. So these variable has been declared and if we want we can store the values. And one more thing is there, garbage values. If you are not assigning any values to the variable, that is called as garbage values. It will display some unknown values. Look at this example. Num1, num2, sum has been declared. These variables have not given the value. Directly we are printing cout num1, cout num2, cout num1 plus num2. Num1 and num2 value has not been given in this program. So they will print some unknown values. That values are called as junk or garbage values. Next, how to initialize the variables. During the declaration time itself we are initializing means that is called initialization. Look at this example. In this example we have declared the variable with some initial value, that is num equal to 100, float pi equal to 3.14, double price equal to 231.45. So in the program itself, declaration time itself, the value has been given. This is called initialization. And if you give the values during the execution time, that is called dynamic initialization. Look at this example. In this example, num1, num2 has been declared as an integer variable and we are getting the user value from the user, that is num1, the user has given 78 and num2, the user has given 65 and we are finding the sum and we are finding the average also. So, sum equal to num1 plus num2. Num1 and num2 value has been given during the execution time. So, that is called as dynamic initialization. Here the average we got is 71. Initialization is 2 types. One is during the declaration time and another one is during the execution time. During the programming time, declaration time, that is called initialization. During the execution time, that is called dynamic initialization. Next, let us see one program to find the perimeter and area of a semicircle. In this program, we have given the variable radius in an integer data type and pi, that is float, and we are getting the radius value from the user. Radius value has given by the user as 14 and we are calculating the value as a perimeter equal to pi plus 2 into radius. Here the pi value is given in the program itself, that is initialization, and radius has been, the value has been given during the execution time, that is called dynamic initialization. Next, area equal to pi into radius divided by 2. Radius has been getting during the execution time, that is also a dynamic initialization. Finally, we are printing the perimeter of the semicircle and area of the semicircle. Radius is 14. Perimeter of the semicircle we got is 71.96 and area of the semicircle we got is 307.72 square centimeter. So in this program we have calculated the perimeter and area of a semicircle, and by this program we can understand about the dynamic initialization. Next we will go for the constant. What is meant by constant? Constant means the value will not change, that is called constant. For example, pi value will always be 3.14, that is 22 by 7. So it will not be changed, that is called constant. In C++, we are using this constant as a const keyword. This is an access modifier. We are representing the keyword as const, that is const. This has been used in the C++ program. This is known as access modifier. Look at this program. First we have declared the variable num normally, that is int num equal 100. After that we have given the const in before of the integer. Const int num equal 100. So the num value 100 will not be changed because it is given as a access modifier constant. That is, in this program they have given const int num equal 100 and they are printing the value num. After that they have incremented the value num equal to num plus 1. Num is constant. We can't increment that by 1. So this program will show the error because constant value remains the same. It will not be changed. If you want to increase, we can't increase. That's why it shows an error. Next, we will go for references. That is, references means it becomes an alias for the defined variable, previously defined variable. It has an syntax, that is type ampersand reference variable. If you are giving ampersand, that is called as a reference variable equal to original variable. So by using this syntax we can give the reference variable with the original variable. First you have to give the data type. Let us see the example for the reference variable. In this example, first we have given num, that is it is declared as an integer, and then after that we have declared as ampersand temp. So ampersand temp equal to num which has been given, that is declaration of a reference variable with the temp. If ampersand symbol is represented in front of the variable, that is called as reference variable. Normally we are giving directly the variable name, that is called as ordinary variable. If you are representing the variable with reference, you should mention the ampersand symbol in front of the variable name. So ampersand temp equal to num. Next we have given num equal to 100. The value has been assigned as 100 for num. After that we are printing the value of num. So 100 has been printed. Then we are giving the value of temp. Temp value has not given, but the output came is 100. How it came? That is, it is taken as a reference. Look at that, int ampersand temp equal to num. So num value 100 is assigned to temp. That is, if you are given reference, the num memory address and temp memory address will be the same. If you are changing the value in num, the temp address will also be the same. So the value also changed in the temp. Both address will be same if you are representing the variable with the reference. So that is the concept of reference variable. Suppose the num variable address is 0x126e. If you are giving ampersand temp equal to num, so the temp address memory address is also the same, that is 0x126e. So if you are changing num, that ampersand temp will also be changed. So we have given the num as 100, so the temp also 100. Finally, we are getting the output as the value of num equal to 100 and the value of temp equal to 100. So both the memory address is same. Because of that only we are finally getting the answer as 100 for both num and temp. This is called reference variable. In today's class, we have discussed about variable and the declaration of variable and initialization and dynamic initialization and garbage values, and we have discussed about the access modifier constant, and finally we have seen the reference variable. Next class we will go for the another topic about the formatting options. Thank you.